One of them, you do it on the data side. So you're very heavily scrutinize the data that you're training on and making sure that it's not inherently biased in one direction or another. But it's really challenging, right? Like if you're trying to get as much information as possible, and you're getting a lot of information from like online news articles and Reddit posts and all of that has a bias one way or the other, right? Like the news articles are going to report on things that they think will drive value for their viewers and their readers, but also obviously get them clicks. So they tend to be biased towards things that are more negative, things that make people angry, and things of that nature. And then same thing with, and like if you're training off of Reddit comments, for example, like Reddit obviously has a specific political lean, and then a lot of that training data has that political lean in it as well. So you can try your best to clean up that data and have an equal distribution of different biases. The challenge there is that you need to know what these biases are ahead of time in order to make sure that you've been able to correct for them. So Google actually had a problem, this is a bunch of years ago now, with their Google Photos app, where it would identify what was in the image. And in their initial training set, they didn't include enough training data of people of color. And it did a really poor job at identifying people of color in their images. So one of the ways they corrected that was increasing the amount of data that they had available for images with people of color. So that's one side, which is the data side. The other side is on the input side, which we talked about prompt injection and kind of reframing the question asked by the user that's interacting with this AI model. So you can use Google as another example because they've had another kind of controversy with this when they originally released their latest Gemini model. They were doing things to make the output more diverse to kind of combat any kind of statistical biases in the training data. But the problem with that is that the AI model wasn't necessarily giving the users what they wanted anymore. And that's the problem with prompt injection is the user's asking for something specific, but you're changing what they're asking to try to shape the answer. And sometimes you change it in such a way where the answer is no longer what the user wanted. And then is the AI really useful at that point because it didn't provide what the user was asking for? And that's the other challenge with it. And you can be successful there, but it just kind of takes time to fine tune what that prompt injection looks like because you're kind of balancing trying to eliminate the bias in my training data, but also making sure that I still maintain the intent of the user and provide what the user wanted back to the user. And I think those are kind of like the two main approaches you can take. So it's cleaning your data or modifying the input, quite like the input prompt.